change your heart, change your life, change the planet.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Van Orden coming to you from the beautiful trails on Mount Anthony in Bennington, Vermont. And I've got tip number 2 in the motivation category today. Start who you are. Yeah, who you are. Tip number 1 was start where you are, and even though that's a really essential tool in the toolbox, I think the most important tool that I have ever come across to date is this one. Start who you are. And I'll come at that from a couple angles. One is that when we engage in things, like this run for instance, we can get value in this moment, or we can get value in some future moment. That this run is going to help me get a certain result at the US Championships, and therefore the value of this run is how it relates to the National Championships in July. The other way to look at this run is that I'm enjoying the run. I'm enjoying being here right now. So there's possible future value and there's possible value in this moment. And so many of the things that we engage in are about the future value, especially if they're things that we don't tend to do without some kind of prodding. People don't go on a diet because they just love to eat good food. People generally don't exercise because they just love working up a sweat. Some people do, not many. I love being out here, but I'm kind of rare in that regard. Most people look at me like I've got 3 heads when I want to go out in all conditions because I simply love being outside and exploring, no matter the weather. But people are like, you're nuts. Or, oh my God, I wish I had your discipline. Because in their minds, it takes discipline in order to do this, because there is no value in doing it now. There might be payoff later, and I don't want to wait till later. I'm not feeling good today. I need something that's going to make me feel good right now, something that's the equivalent of Tylenol right now. I want to pop it, and half an hour later, I feel great, or 5 minutes later, I feel great. But if the benefit comes 6 months from now, I'm having a rough day, man. I can't wait 6 months to start feeling good. Why do you have to wait 6 months? What if you could start who you are right now? And this is the kind of the play on words of this tool, is that when do you start being you? Like there's this fantasy that we have of ourselves. Someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a fireman. All the things that kids think about, whatever their goal is. Someday I'm going to be the POTUS. But who are they right now? Who are you right now? Do you have to wait until you win the lottery? Until you find the perfect partner or spouse? Until you get the brilliant idea that makes the $1 billion? Is that when you start? Or can you start who you are right now? This is me. I'm this guy here in this moment, and I'm this guy in a big race. I'm this guy when I'm on stage giving a talk. I'm this guy no matter what I do. Or at least that's the goal. To make sure that who I am is always a process that I'm engaging in. Not just where I am, not just what I'm doing, but who I am. We often don't know who we are because we're in these external narratives. And when I say often, I mean most of the time, the vast majority of our lives. Not 6 hours a day, but sometimes 6 years at a stretch. And then we get little glimpses of who we are. And we're like, crap, I've been wasting time. I could have been this guy all along. Why was I waiting? What did I expect to get? And this is, a midlife crisis, I think, for a lot of people. They wake up one day and they're like, who am I? Whose life is this? I don't recognize myself, because you haven't started being you yet. You've been trapped in this idea of who you should be, who people want you to be, or what they expect you to be, or what they're going to like. But you probably haven't started simply being you yet. So you have to ask, why am I doing what I'm doing? Because other people are going to value me higher if I do this? Or if I do this enough that I develop a certain skill and people value this skill, and therefore this is about being esteemed in other people's eyes? Is that who I am? I am the guy who cares what people think of me? Is that it? Or am I the guy who breathes in the world and says, there's a challenge right there. That's uncomfortable right there. But there's gold there. I'm the guy who finds the gold. I'm the guy who faces that thing. And I do it here. And I don't need there to be a finish line. I don't need there to be some applause waiting for me. The applause, the value, is simply in knowing that that's who I am. And I'm that guy right now. I don't need to wait. I don't need to win the race, to win the championship in order to be that guy. And if I don't win the race, oh my God, I'm disappointed, I'm humiliated, I'm embarrassed, I'm angry, I'm blaming other people. I fire my coach, I hire a new one, whatever the situation might be. But if who you are is tied to that result, you're going to be waiting all your life, and then you may get the result and find out that, God, I still don't know who I am. So start who you are. Start the process of discovering who you are. What's exciting about this moment? What possibility for excitement and enrichment exists in this moment right here? What could I do right now that would make a difference? And then realize that I'm the guy that can do that. That's who I am. I have the power, I have the ability to take this and move it in such a way that something will change for the better. That's who I am. And I don't need to see that to the finish line. I don't need to see the end result. If I'm the guy that's going around throughout the day, changing things a little bit for the better, if I'm setting myself up for success, if I'm setting others up for success, and I do that in little ways and I acknowledge that's who I am. I can take the easy road, or I can go out of my way a little bit to do this little thing that's going to make a little difference. And if I keep doing that over and over and over again, and I acknowledge that's who I am, I'm the guy that makes that choice. Here it is. Here's the choice. I bend down. I take the stick. I move it out of the trail. Now the next person that comes through has less sticks to trip over. I've been doing that for almost this entire run walk, clearing the trail. That's who I am. So start who you are, because you can be that person right now, and you can engage in an act right now that confirms that belief. It's not some fantastical belief. It's a belief about who you are in this moment. This one, right here. So start where you are, because that's where you discover who you are. The guy or gal that deals with the things that I can touch and affect in this moment. And sometimes that's simply my body moving through the world. Okay? I hope there's something in there that spoke to you. Again, this is the most powerful tool I've ever come across, and it's the one I use most frequently. So let me know what you think. Let me know who you are. And let me know if you're stuck and you can't get engaged in this process of being who you are. I'm here to help. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like this channel, subscribe. And make sure to click the bell so you get the updates. And as always, if you want to keep content like this flowing, come on over to Patreon, $1 or $2 a month. And we can all change who we are. All right. See ya!